Frankly speaking, Samsung is the only real competitor to Apple. Sure, the rest of the Android brands may come up with worthy gadgets every once in a while, but the most awaited event remains the launch of Samsung's S-series flagships. The S21 Ultra and the S22 Ultra have probably been the most successful Android smartphone to have ever been designed. These phones had incredible displays, mind-blowing camera qualities, and performances excellent enough to give a run to dedicated gaming phones. So, with the reputation that Samsung built these two flagships, everyone was excited about what Samsung had in store for their new S23 Ultra. To their surprise, or rather shock, the new Samsung S23 Ultra looked exactly the same as the S22 Ultra. This is the first time in history that Samsung's flagship has looked identical to the previous flagship. For most, it was rather scary, and genuine concern about whether Samsung stopped innovating were raised. I cannot say the concerns did not have a legitimate reason. I mean, come on. The phone had the same display, battery, and body. The selfie camera is actually downgraded from 40 megapixels to 12 megapixels. And the colors? Don't even get me started on that. Samsung, what happened to you? Not even a trimmed chin at the bottom. If all of this was not enough, the price tag would be significantly more expensive than the previous generation. I shared all of these concerns while I had the phone for the first time, but after spending some time with it, I can safely say that the S23 has changed my opinion and made me somewhat excited about it. Let me tell you exactly why I'm feeling optimistic about this new device. Let's address the elephant in the room straight away, the selfie camera. While the resolution is important, it does not necessarily mean that a higher resolution will provide better pictures. Take 14 Pro Max for example. The camera has a resolution of 12 megapixels, but it delivers incredible photo quality. There is much beyond the resolution that goes into making a selfie camera great at what it does. Samsung seems to perfect the other parts of the S23 Ultra, which is why the results of selfies in the new devices are better than the S22 Ultra. The S23 Ultra has more accurate skin tones, reliable focusing, and better details. Anyone who has used the S22 Ultra knows that saying it has a great selfie camera is an understatement, and it has improved even more in S23 Ultra, despite the reduction in megapixels. Okay, so Samsung has improved the camera a little bit, but why such a jump in the price tags of new phones? Well, the price seems high because Samsung has slashed the base variant, which had 128GB of storage. The S23 Ultra starts at 256GB, which I think is a wise choice. I know it makes the phone even more inaccessible, but frankly speaking, the 128GB storage is not enough for this phone. It's a media-centric phone, and with the camera's quality, you will find 128GB of storage quickly running out. If you use the phone to take cinematic shots and edit them within the phone, the 128GB of storage will not cut it. With a 256GB storage, you would not need to transfer the files into the laptop to take new shots every once in a while. Furthermore, this storage of 256GB is not an ordinary one, but rather the fastest flash memory in the world. To put things in perspective, compared to the phones launched just a few days ago, the S23 can read and transfer files almost 2 times faster. And it's not one of those features that feel incredible on people, but have little to no effect in practice. Hold the S22 Ultra and S23 together and try opening the different applications. I can assure you that you will notice a significant difference between the two. You will also notice the difference while transferring big files to the computers. Another major improvement in the hardware is with speakers. You see, back in 2018, Samsung used to be at the top of its game with the speakers in the smartphones. But since then, the speaker quality has not been the major focus, and thus, other companies have claimed that crown. Samsung wants to reclaim its position as it has installed a very sound speaker setup. The new speaker offers high volume and delivers more bass and overall better sound quality. Play EDM on this device and you will be surprised by the sound such a tiny package can produce. Like every new Samsung phone, the S23 also has a new UI called One UI 5.1, which is based on Android 13. While some aspects have certain improvements, the software is largely the same as the previous one. But what sets the S23 Ultra apart is the security updates, which Samsung has gotten quite good at in recent years. The new phone can be updated to Android 17, which is incredible for people who do not want to change their smartphones every couple of years. Coming back to the camera, the new S23 Ultra has a resolution of 200 megapixels. I know it's going to be the major focus of the marketing team, and sure, it should be. But anyone who knows even a little bit about phone cameras understands that with the little amount of light that the phone camera sensors get, it is very difficult to take full advantage of the 200 megapixels. With such a high resolution in smartphones, the only thing one expects improvements is the size of those pictures. However, this is where those other things come in, allowing the S23 Ultra to benefit from such a high resolution. Samsung uses this technology called pixel binning, which groups individual noisier pixels and creates bigger pixels that are cleaner and richer in detail. The phone clumped the photo into 3x3 grids with the 108 megapixels of the Samsung S22 Ultra. It meant that the final photos taken by the S22 Ultra had a resolution of 12 megapixels. However, these pictures appeared clean and rich in detail because each of the 12 megapixels collected information with 9 smaller pixels. With the S23 Ultra, Samsung has taken things to a whole other level. With the 200 megapixels of the camera, each of the 12 megapixels had 9 smaller pixels that will now have 16 smaller pixels. You also have another option to divide 200 megapixels into groups of 4. Either way, the new Samsung S23 Ultra pictures will appear cleaner and more detailed. Furthermore, a few technical features in the 200 megapixels bring in more light compared to the previous models. I do not have to go into technical details to let you know that more light means better pictures. Plus, it should also improve the low light performance of the S23 Ultra, which was not extraordinary in the previous models. And with the new and better processor, the phone should be able to do it all faster than the previous models. Spoiler alert, there's a mode called Astrophoto, which is dedicated to capturing night skies with more details. Another area that Samsung claims to have improved is 100 times zoom. The utility of the feature is seriously debatable, but it's certainly improved in the newer model. It's especially evident when you capture a person at a distance. The AI of the S23 Ultra processes the photo to make it sharper and deliver more accurate colors. Let's come back to the design, which frankly is not something I quite appreciate. I mean, there is no technical flaw with the design, but I think this if ain't broken don't fix it strategy might be going out of hand. With Apple, it's expected, to be honest. It's not one of Apple's strongest suits. Now that Samsung has followed suit, the new phone launches have started to get boring. However, it's just my point of view, which probably has the root in the fact that I change smartphones every now and then for the sake of this channel. Most people who would want to purchase this smartphone would not be the ones who come from S22 Ultra or even S21 Ultra. These people will probably have much older phones that they are looking to upgrade. Thus for them, the newer model will feel significantly different. So yes, there is that too. As for the question of whether someone should upgrade their S22 Ultra, I would not recommend it. Frankly, while there are some improvements, the phone is largely the same. You will notice some differences, but it's not enough to justify that hefty price tag thanks to the removal of base 128GB variant from the lineup. That is all for this video. I hope it has been informative. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section and stay connected with it for more updates. As always, I will see you at the next one.